today's video I have a THETFORD C200 toilet that doesn't flush. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to hopefully get it working. So the first thing I've done is underneath where the cassette goes there'll be a fuse. I've checked the fuse, that's all good. We've got voltage all the way to this wire which was attached here to the switch. I've tested the switch, and the switch, if you listen, when you press it, there's no click. So the switch was buggered. I then put voltage straight to the motor. So I've taken it out and it's binned, but in there sits a submersible pump which pumps the flush out. I put 12 volts to that and it's done nothing. I think it's the original based on the condition. So to fix this, obviously you need a new pump. This was £8 on eBay instead of the £50 one straight from the manufacturer. I've got a new button which you listen, clicks, with some new tail ends on it. So that sits in there. So today I'm just going to show you how I wire it up and get it all working. So in here, so the other side of this hole is where you fill the tank up. And in here you've got, this is power from the fuse to the pump. This pipe goes down into your toilet flush. There'll be another bit of pipe on there which will go to the pump, which I'm also replacing. That pipe was seized to the pump. I've fed the wire through this rubber grommet which sits on the underside to protect the back of the switch. So make sure you do that before you go wiring it up. And we're going to cut this wire in here. Some wire cutters, wire strippers, and I think to do is leave a bit extra. So far I've ran the wires through this grommet which protects the bottom of the switch, and I've left enough cable for the motor to go all the way to the bottom of the tank. Next we're going to do is strip these back. Now this is a 3-core wire, but we only need the blue and the red, which is positive and negative. The blue is the negative, which we're going to connect to this negative, and the red and the brown we're going to connect to each end of this switch wire. So we'll do that first. So I've got the negative connection here with this solder heat shrink put over the top, and we're gonna get it on the negative, and then we'll do the positives to the switch. So once I have got it set up in position, I'll show you how it works. So with these connections, you slide them over, make sure the solder ring in the middle there is over your wires, and then you come along with a lighter, heat that solder up, which will melt, and then melt the heat shrink as well. And then if I didn't char it, you'd fucking see. It's very hard to see because I've charred it a bit, but that has solder that's melted in there. Made a good connection which we can test as the motor's working. So now we'll do exactly the same for the switch lines. And that's all soldered up and connected now. Working. Make sure before you go wiring it all up, you put the wires through this plastic piece, because once you've wired it, you won't be able to do that. So next stage, I'm going to pull that over the top of this and fit a new bit of hose pipe to the motor. And that's what the grommet should look like on there. You push it all the way on as far as you can get it. So I've got a new piece of hose. The hose slipped over nicely, but it's ever so slightly loose. So I've put some hose clamps on it, very slight loose. I haven't done them up very tight because they're only plastic, just enough to stop them pulling off. So next, what we can do is drop the new pump in unit, and on mine it did have a pipe clip, but it's broken. So what I may do is zip tie it to that clip there in a way that it can come back out if I ever need to service the toilet again. And we'll place the button back in, and the kit did come here as well. It comes with a new seal. This goes around here, and it comes with new screws which go here, here and here. I've only got two in the unit anyway, so they're going to be added. And it comes with these new pins, which are these, but these are okay. I'm not going to replace them, but we'll keep them just in case. Now when we press the button, we have fluid coming out. So we've got it successfully working. So if you have any issues with your Thetford C200 not flushing, step one, check the fuse under the cassette. I will insert a little clip of where it is and how to find it. There's the fuse for the cassette, and the little sensor thing is just below it. There is also a sensor that makes sure the cassette is in, which allows power to this. And I believe if that sensor's faulty, it won't allow power to the flush. So that's another thing to check. This caravan is like 23 years old, so wiring was quite corroded on the old one anyway, and the motor was seized. So next is check your wiring. Pull this off, it literally like pops up and off like that. Under there you can check your connections at the switch. If this grey power cable coming in hasn't got any power, it's most likely down fuse. If the fuse has got power and that hasn't got power, it's probably a break between there and the fuse. If that has got power, it's most likely your switch. If your switch is working, which you can test by doing a check on your multimeter. If when you check on the multimeter you're still getting the button working, then it's probably your motor, and I will put a link in the description for the £8 motor that I got on here, because the original part was I think like £50 or £60, so save your money and it works. So what I'm going to do now is clean all this up, put a new seal round which comes in the kit, clip this back on, put these screws in, and that's done. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions about the C200 toilet system, let me know in the comments, and if I can help you, I'll try and help you. Thanks for watching.